Welcome back, Gundam guys and Gundam gals. Patrick Grade here from GGInfiniteNews.com. This time bringing the review for the high-grade Baqto model. This is number 8 in the Gundam Age high-grade series, and this will be the last of the 3 UE suits we'll see from the Age 1 series. Age 2 starts up in January, and we'll see some new suits then. And the Baqto is like the heavy armor version of the Gafran. So we'll see how well it turns out by looking at all the individual pieces and then taking a look at the model all assembled. So let's take a look. So as usual, we'll start at the bottom with the feet and legs. And as you can see, the Baqto's legs are drastically different from both the Zetas and the Gafran. They have a much thicker leg armor, and there's no backward knee bend for like a transformation or anything. Although it does have a good 180-degree bend there. The feet are completely unique as well, with this little fin design at the bottom. Quite a bit of forward and backward movement, and side-to-side rotation, and swivel there. So very flexible feet. The Baqto has a pretty nice color scheme. A majority of this seafoam green kind of thing, with a lighter trim being like a minty green. So it's not a very threatening color scheme, but it's nice overall. Especially with all the trim pieces, the minty green being actual pieces and not stickers, which is a nice addition. The legs are somewhat complex too, although deceivingly so. The leg armor can split apart here to reveal the inner frame below. And this is a part of the flight mode transformation, and this is probably the most cool part about the transformation. So all you really do is just split the armor apart and kind of position the pieces wherever you want them to be. And you can see that there's the fin thrusters underneath here, and some cool wing design shapes to the under armor. Nothing happens with the thigh armor, that stays in place, and there's no swivel or anything at the hip joint. But overall, the legs are really nice, and there's some deep channels and stuff to line as well to bring out some of the extra detail, and which I did with a pencil. So it's kind of light, it may not be able to come up very well on the video screen here, but it looks pretty nice in person. The torso unit is extremely simple. Just a couple pieces thrown together here with a hidden peg underneath this little vent for the action stand. Nothing that really moves. The ball joints for the hips are stuck in place, and the front skirt is stationary as well. So this is purely functional, no real unique design or anything to it. Just a polycap up here for the waist to plug into, and the 2 hip joints and the action base stand here at the bottom. Design wise, the chest is very nice. A lot of color separation. There's a black coming out from the inner frame, clear orange here on the center chest piece with stickers overlaying them, and the 2 colors, the minty green and the dark green. So it looks very nice. A lot of nice color separation. But the complexity kind of ends at the design. There's nothing really special going on here. Like the Gafran, the spinal column acts as the backpack and the neck unit, and it swivels a little bit on the polycap that it rests on. But there's no moving panels or separating pieces up here. This is solid as well. It's a very heavy design, like a good heavy grunt suit should be. There's a little bit of swivel here on the polycaps for the shoulders, and the neck can move a little bit too. Everything is similar to the Gafran, but much more thick and stronger looking, more heavily armored. So it's a really nice chest design overall. It's just extremely simple as far as gimmicks and stuff go. The arms, shoulders, and hands are pretty much a carbon copy of the Gafran, except for the color scheme. And the shoulder pads have separate color pieces here for the minty green, so this is actually 4 pieces for the shoulder. But the lower arm is the same, bicep swivel, a decent elbow articulation, and plenty of wrist swivel. And the Baqto comes with 2 sets of hands, but they're both open. This is the version that has like a hidden beam cannon at the palm, while the other set has a posable beam cannon in the palm. So again, very simple, yet pretty functional. It would have been nice if the shoulder pads were a little heavier, a little more armor, and more spikes or something on them. But overall, it's fine. Nothing really to complain about. other than its simplicity. The head unit is very similar to the Gafran as well, especially with its opening flaps and movable chin armor here. And all the UE suits have the long single eye sensor going across the faceplate. The only thing that I'm a little frustrated with is that, unlike the Gafran, when you close this down, it doesn't cover up all of the black, so you can kind of see the black poking through. So I thought I put it together wrong to begin with, but I noticed on the line art that's how it's supposed to be. So I guess it's good to have a little variation as far as some extra colors being seen there. But it doesn't look quite right to me. But it's not a big deal. And again, the flaps open up for the flight transformation mode, and you have the polycap neck joint there in the back, and a little bit of talking chin there. If I get close enough, you can notice that on the brim of his helmet there's a little bit of extra design detail cut into the plastic. So that's kind of neat. The Baqto also has a pair of wings on his backpack, similar to that of the Gafran, but a little smaller, and it doesn't have the third piece here at the end that has its own ball joint. So just two pieces put together with a ball joint here, and a third piece here to connect the two together. It holds together really well, and it's not as obtrusive as the Gafran wings are. It probably would have actually been okay if the Baqto did have the more complex wings, because they're bigger and larger. So that would make more sense on this heavier unit. But it would have been nice to have some color separation here. Have one of the fins be the minty green or something. But overall it's not too bad. Just a couple small channel lines available for lining. But very nice overall. And the tail weapon is a carbon copy color swap of the weapon we saw on the Gafran. Just a different color, but everything else is the same. A multi-directional joint here in the center. Here at the bottom is where the tail plugs into the chest unit. So it's got plenty of posability. And it should work out a little better on this suit because it's a little more heavy with the bigger lower body. So maybe there won't be as many balance issues with the tail on the Baqto as there is on the Gafran. So overall, this is a pretty cool weapon. It has a really nice visual flair to it. So here's the Baqto all put together. Plenty of articulation in the arms and shoulders. The head can move a little bit before it pops off, with a little bit of neck movement as well. It can ET up quite a bit. The wings move around just fine to get out of the way. And with the wings out of the way, you get plenty of movement in the legs. Can kick way high forward and go back pretty far as well. So here's the Baqto all put together, standing up by himself. And as you can tell, the balance is a lot better on this one with the tail weapon on the back. The heavier legs provide a lot more counterbalance to that, so they can stand up a lot better. And even with the tail out at a kind of a weird angle, it still holds up pretty well. Overall, the Gafran Zetas Baqto design is pretty cool. I find the arms to be a little weird. They seem kind of out of place. It reminds me of Alec Baldwin on 30 Rock trying to decide what to do with his hands when he's acting. So they're there, and they don't fit with the rest of the design all that much, I don't think. They're just kind of out of place. But the head's pretty cool. You can bring his neck up way far if you want to. Like I said, kind of an ET kind of thing. Or slouch him down a little bit more. It looks a little more appropriate. And the profile and the silhouette is pretty nice too. He's very bulky and spiky. And of course the tail weapon can come over. And you can see that pose that we've seen a lot of times in the Gundam Age Anime. down inappropriately between his legs to get that pose that we saw on the box art. So I'm going to put the Baqto up on action base to help me with the transformation a little bit, because it gets kind of hard to move the leg armor around while holding onto it. So what you want to do is separate the leg armor to reveal the inner frame below. Do that to either side. Bring out the wings, angle the arms forward somewhat, and bend the elbows, and bring out the head wings. Lean it forward some, and then put out the tail. So that's pretty much the flight mode. And much like the Gafran and Zetas, to call this a transforming mobile suit is a little unfair. I mean, it's fine as an alternate kind of flight mode. And like on the Zetas or Gafran, it really doesn't hinder the overall quality of the kit. So it's there, but it's pretty forgettable. But the other elements of this mobile suit really make up for the simplicity of the transformation. And it's kind of cool to see. I mean, the transformation does actually add something to this kit, especially with the complexity in the legs, you know, the separation there. So as the Baqto spins around here in its flight mode, and the more I look at it, the more I play with it, the more appreciation I have of this kit overall. Even though this design is pretty much a heavy armor version of the Gafran, this one's a much better kit overall, I think. The armor and the tail weapons and stuff fit this suit a lot better. And this is probably my favorite out of the 3 UE suits so far, with the Zetas coming in second just because it's a pretty unique design when compared to the Baqto and Gafran. The color separation is very nice. A very minimal use of stickers just on the chest and the eyes. So all the different colors you see here is actually different plastic, which is pretty good for a high-grade kit. The complexity of the lower legs is nice, as well as, you know, seeing the vents and stuff poke out from underneath when you transform them. The wings are a lot more fitting on this version. They don't cause as much trouble with posing and visual hindrance. And the tail works a lot better too, with the extra balance provided by the heavier lower legs. I'm still not too keen on the head design overall. I don't like the fact that it doesn't close up completely when the flaps are closed, but that's not a huge deal. And still, the design of the arms the arms are just weird on all the UE suits so far. The arms don't seem like they're part of the actual design. Maybe if the arms had some extra bulk to them, or less black, they would fit in more with the design a little bit better. But I mean, they're fine. It's not a huge deal. So overall, I think the Baqto is a really nice kit. I would definitely recommend you guys heading over to gginfinite.com and picking up your own, especially if you like the high-grade Age line so far. And of course, it will look nice on the shelf next to your Titus. These guys beating the crap out of each other. So thanks a lot for watching my review. Let me know what you think with a comment down below, and give me your opinions on the kit too. And like it if you do, and please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate all your subscriptions, and that way you can see my videos as soon as they're available. And of course, thanks to Gundam Guy for providing this kit for me to review. And stay tuned for more reviews. Next I'll be looking at the GXS, and that should be posted tonight or tomorrow, so stay tuned, and I will see you then.